Hi everyone, thanks for joining me for today's question and answer video. I'm answering questions from you guys that you guys posted in the last question and answer video. Please ask me anything you want. There's no stupid questions, no bad questions. Repetitive questions are welcome. We all need to hear this more than once. And that's it. Thank you very much. All I ask is that you guys leave your locations. You can be general. I think it's just a good way we all feel connected, close, validated, things like this, because this stuff is everywhere. There's no place it isn't. It's not just you. It's not just your town, your home, your family, your relationships. It's everywhere, okay? So ask questions. That's how this video continues if you like it and you want to support it. And if you do want to support it, you can subscribe to the channel. You can like the video, share it with someone else, and leave comments. Thank you. I always encourage your guys' examples and stuff like this of your own personal experiences if you feel comfortable sharing them. So let's get into the questions. I picked out, I think, 8. Before I get started, I'd appreciate it if you guys haven't already, consider, please, supporting the Stop Narcissistic Online Bullying petition I started about a year ago. The link is down below. It's everywhere. All you have to do is touch the link and say you support it. It's global. It's everywhere. I really, really appreciate you guys' support for doing this. I'd like to make a change. I think that we all need to do it together to make these toxic people not into our lives, right? We spend all this time and energy in my videos trying to keep them out of our life, and then if we go online, there they are, right? So there needs to be more regulation. Please support it. Thank you, and share it with somebody else. Okay, first question is from Lynn. God, oh no, here it is. So Lynn, and I forgot where you're from. I used to know where you are. I used to remember. I can't remember. I want to say California. Thanks for addressing the baiting question. It's also perplexing. They want adoration, yet will push and prod for a reaction, then discard you when they've devalued you, only to come back and wash, rinse, and repeat. Thanks as always for your content and helping point the way to a healing and thriving life. You're welcome, Lynn. Thank you. I think I'll make a video about baiting, narcissistic baiting. Victoria from the Bay Area. Hi, Victoria. Thank you for answering my question about my son joining the military. You really gave me peace of mind on this video. My question is, my therapist told me to stay grounded in the present time, stop going to the past and future. My question is, do you have any techniques I could do to stay grounded in the present time? Yes, I do. When I'm talking to clients and someone feels really anxious, really bad, worried, scared, all this stuff, and it's always about something that's going to happen or something that did happen, right? We want to bring them back in and out. I just say, do you have a drink? Take a drink of water, eat something. These things really help a little bit just right away. Showering, bathing, exercising, raising our heart rate helps. And talking to somebody and writing, okay? But what we need to understand is that our brain is going somewhere, either tomorrow, next day, month, years, or past. So, right? So we want to be in the present. So stop and take a look at your surroundings. Okay, start focusing on what you have in the room there. Okay, if it's your own room, start thinking about something you like, something you don't like, something you'd like to change, things like this, okay? Try not multitasking, not thinking about a ton of things at once. Keep yourself busy, start a task, and one thing at a time. Try to just concentrate on this task. Now, a lot of this is ruminating, and I have a lot of ruminating techniques in other videos I have, so please watch those in the Healing CPTSD playlist, and please ask me anything else you want to ask me. It's good to take note of your surroundings and right here, right now, and also of your relationships and where your life is right now. So try to find something to be grateful for, thankful for, okay? It's so much better than being negative and thinking about something that already happened that we can't change. There's something in the future maybe we don't have control over, it's not here yet, or it may not happen. And that's another big part of this is acceptance. Acceptance. It's a big part of ruminating. It's a big part of stress of our future, of our past. We can't change our past. We can only try not to repeat it if that's something we're worried about or afraid of. And we can't really control our future too much. We can't control people. So we have to accept. Acceptance is huge. It's something that I value and something that I work on all the time to try to be better and better and better. Okay? So if that's something important to you, put that down your list on your value list and know that people in your life have to value acceptance as well. And we start to accept things we cannot change. accept people the way they are. We don't have to accept them in our lives, but we've got to stop trying to change people. And that's one of the biggest reasons you guys stayed in this relationship, because you thought you were helping them. It's much easier to just to say, this is the person that they are, and if I don't like this person in my life, I get them out of my life, and then I take note, right? And I learn. So the next person in my life has to have this value system that I believe in, okay? And there's one thing that helped me immensely, and I never thought it would, and I kind of pushed it away a lot when it was recommended to me, and it was meditating. Before I realized that I do it already anyway. There's a lot of things you can do that's repetitive, and exercising, controlling your breathing, that's meditative. But start, if you haven't already, and if you have before, start trying to meditate. It's a great way to stay grounded, stay in the present, here and now, to wash away a lot of our stressors, a lot of our anxiety and things that we're worried about, because worry means something we can't control. So acceptance, meditation, take control or note of your surroundings. Okay, those things should help. I'm not saying that it will change things right away or that you have results immediately, but you should have some little bit of results and see that it helps a little bit, some of these things, and start doing them more. Okay, thank you, Victoria. Next question is from Rory from Ohio. Hi, Rory. Good morning, David. Danny mentioned relationship anarchy in her comment. I had never heard of this kind of relationship. Could you explain a little more about relationship anarchy? Thank you, David. Ohio is a warmer part of the day this week. I hope you're staying warm. Good to hear that. Well, Ohio's warmed up a little bit before it gets really, really freezing. So a relationship anarchy, I've never heard somebody call it that, so I don't know if that's an actual psychological term or something. I think the person that left the comment, Danny, was describing her relationship as anarchy. I think of, anarchies, no rule, no government, no law. So in a relationship, there'd be no terms, no boundaries, no rules, no ultimatums, nothing. It all goes. I would describe a narcissistic relationship more as authoritarian. Wouldn't you? Because anarchy is like no government, nothing. And we know that they're trying to govern us, control us, and they have all these types of rules and put us into a little box where we can't do anything. Yeah, I think it's totalitarian, authoritarian. But anarchy is how Danny described her relationship. I think we can all identify with that term, everyone watching this video. And Rory goes on to say, we are having a heat wave in sunny Ohio. Oh, what does that mean, 50? Why do we sometimes think we may be a narcissist? Well, then you probably are if you think that. Once in a while when I see a comment or hear something, I will think I do or did that. I think that I am. I am the one that's a narcissist. Just something that crossed my mind. I hope you have another great weekend. And I was just kidding. It's extremely common. Okay, there's a bunch of reasons. I made a video about this, or multiple videos. Maybe I'll make another one. But two people are both responsible and accountable in a relationship. When you have somebody who does not take or accept any responsibility and will not take any accountability, where does that leave the other person? Right? Did I do this? Did I make them do this? I don't want them to behave badly, so what do I do? How do I do this? What do I do? Oh, maybe it's... You're in a toxic relationship. At least you are able to take some responsibility and accountability. Do you see that? And so when it gets enmeshed, right, and we don't know whose feelings is what and who's responsible for what, and it's all blame each other, blah, 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 blah. Well, you have somebody that's extremely narcissistic, and you might start doubting yourself as being narcissistic. Okay? It's not like a transition, but the number one symptom coming out of a toxic relationship is self-doubt. Is it my fault? Was it me? Could I have done something better? Things like this. If that word's brought up, and as you find this information, the bottom line is, Rory, is that narcissism is in all of us. Okay, so narcissism, you could say, is the spectrum that we're all on, but this spectrum, unlike psychopathy is, people that are psychopathic are extremely high. Narcissists are high in psychopathy, and we're down here hopefully like 1 or 2. Right? But narcissism, we're all in the middle. So we're all narcissistic. So if we have some self-doubt after this relationship and we start hearing this stuff, oh, my narcissist did this, and you're like, oh, well, I've done that before, that's okay. I'm not saying it's okay to have bad behaviors, abuse people and hurt people and toxic and all that stuff, but it doesn't mean you have a disorder. The disorder is a very distinct criteria. you have to meet, and it's on that spectrum. So what's it, 5 out of 9 in the the DMS? 5 out of 9 you have to have the disorder. You could have 4 don't have the disorder. And I know all of us watching this has had 1 or 2 of those traits before, but it's not a pattern of it, right? So when a therapist diagnoses a narcissist, they don't go, oh, you've done this before? Okay. Oh, what'd you do when you were 20? Oh, okay, check. No, it's a consistent pattern of these behaviors over and over and over and over and over again. That's why they're so rigid, they don't change. That's why, okay? The enmeshment boundaries. Somebody has a question similar to this. I'll get to it. But I hope that makes sense. Let me know. Thanks. And Sandra from Melbourne, Australia. Hi, Sandra. Love your work and always look forward to everything you upload. Thank you. Thanks for supporting it. I appreciate you. My question is, do you think narcissists have a conscience? I personally could never lie like my ex used to lie and never batter an eyelid. It amazes me. I've often thought, how can someone live with themselves and sleep at night? Easily. Think of, not taking responsibility like secondary psychopaths. Think of people that work at banks and take people's homes all day. They just say, oh, it's the bank, not me, right? So we're all different. We all value different things. Something I work with my clients is try to make them very aware and conscious of what they value. And hopefully we have moral values at the top. Okay, but not everybody does. I don't care. Everybody's going to say they value respect, but we know not everybody does. And a lot of people don't know who they are and they think they value respect, or they actually just demand it. They don't give it. And that's how I value it, okay? But not everybody's respectful. Not everybody wants to be. Not everybody tries to be. I'm just using respect as one. But let's use honesty, okay? We've all lied. And we can all change who we want to be right now. If I've lied in my life and I don't like it, I'm going to start trying to stop tomorrow and really value honesty. So I'll take them and plant them firmly into the ground. Make them principle in my daily life. Honesty, respect, integrity, all these things that I value. I want to make them permanent. I don't want to pick them up, move them out of the way. If I lie to somebody, I have to do that. If I have to lie to my boss, I have to pick these up, move them out of the way. That's compromising my values. Do you see that? And the more I do it, the easier it gets, right? If you start lying, if you tell a lie tomorrow, it's easier the next day to tell another one. It just gets easier and easier and easier because these aren't principled anymore and they're washy. Whoosh, gone. Okay, consciousness is awareness. All right? Not everybody's aware of what they're doing. That's mindfulness. Not everybody's aware of who they are or even how they feel. Okay? So as these become less principled and they move around, I'm less conscious of that, less aware of that. It may feel like crap, but I won't put 2 and 2 together. And I'll also then start ignoring how it makes me feel. But it just gets easier and easier and easier to lie if that's what you do. Just like it gets easier and easier and easier to tell the truth. If you have a lying problem, you want to start telling the truth, start telling the truth. And it gets easier and easier. Okay? Behaviors get easier and easier as they continue. And my Valky from Netherlands. Hello. Suppose a BPD gets no or inadequate help, can't be reasoned with. When do they stop fighting and smearing? So I'm just guessing after the relationship is over with someone with the borderline personality disorder, and you're asking me, when does the smearing stop? That's when people smear typically. This fighting and smearing can happen all throughout the relationship, so I'm not quite sure. If you want to ask me again, please do. I'm just going to go with after the relationship is over. Smearing. Smearing is an obsessive type of stalking. Okay, it's harassment. When we're talking about obsessing on people, and that's what smearing and stalking it is. You know, someone can make videos about someone for years and they can claim I'm not obsessed with them, but you are, right? So when does this stuff stop? Typically within 2 months. That's when, I'm not just saying just borderline. Most people that do this stuff, they'll vent and they stop within 2 months. If not, it's serious, okay? If it doesn't stop in 6 months, extreme obsession. If it doesn't stop in 2 years, it usually never stops. Never. Yeah. I've had someone doing it to me now for 7 years. They'll never stop until they're stopped. Gross. I hope that helps. I hope that answers your questions. Please let me know if it doesn't. If you had something else you wanted to know, or if this was like during a relationship. If you're in a relationship with somebody, I mean, if they're fighting and smearing you, when is it going to stop? It's going to stop when you stop talking to them. Okay. Thank you. And Galaxy 98765. Don't know where you're from? Let us know, please, next time. Do you have any idea how a man with a serious case of BPD can stay married to a woman for 48 years? She died 5 years ago. He said they fought daily. I think she was probably a narcissist. Any ideas? It's a funny question because it's a good question. It's not wrong, but it's funny. How can two people stay together for so long when it's so toxic? I mean, how long did you stay? I've stayed 10 years. Okay. And I hear of 20 and 30 until death do us part. I'm not sure how to answer that. By never fixing anything, resolving anything, placing any accountability, holding anyone accountable, taking any responsibility, getting any kind of help, therapy. I mean, this is how it, right? But what's interesting is she died. She's dead now. That's how it usually works out. If it doesn't stop, it usually kills us. I don't think I make that clear enough to you guys. Stress is the #1 killer. Stress causes disease, cancer. Okay. And if we stay in this kind of stressful relationship, which is the worst stress for us of all, biggest source of stress, if we stay, it'll eventually kill us. I can't tell you how many stories, hundreds of stories I've listened to and read where the victim gets sick, gets cancer, and then they say, see ya, the second they're sick. The second they go on, literally on the operating table. Or they just continue until they die. And that's it. I don't know how else to answer that. If you had more you wanted to ask me, please do. Okay, thank you. And user TV9TD4PX4Q. Oh, you said your name. My name is Paula. I'm contacting you from Northern California. My question is, why is a BPD person so difficult to get over, move on from than people who don't have BPD? I've had lots of long-term relationships. I'm 58 years old. I don't pine for him, but he's like a brainworm that has set up residency. We're together under a year, and it's not like I hate him most days, but I'd really like for him to vacate or start paying rent. Professional help is very difficult to come by these days, so there just are not enough therapists available right now in my area. I'll definitely keep trying. Yes, there are. Yes, there are. You're in Northern California. There's plenty of therapists that can help you with this. Yes, there are. Okay? I'll challenge you. I can put up a bet and I'll find one. There's also people that help people like yourself that you can do video calls with. It's what I do. I help people all over the world with great success. Okay? Maybe you choose to be face to face with somebody, but not getting the help if you believe you need it is the worst thing we could do. So I would consider video chat or go find a therapist in your area, because there are. Okay? Why is it more difficult with somebody who's disordered? Borderline. It's the enmeshment factor. We lose ourselves. Okay? Here's what you emotionally need. Most of you guys don't even know what they are. Most important things in our life you don't know. And you didn't get them fulfilled. The borderline will never meet your emotional needs. Never. Never. I doubt you got what you wanted. It didn't feel good. Yeah. You compromised your values, like I just talked about, not making them principle, because you can't say you value honesty and respect and loyalty with a cheating liar. Do you get that? I can't bring a cheating liar into my life and say, oh yeah, I value honesty. I mean, imagine if you personally, one of you got to know me and I was married and my wife's a scumbag and lies and abuses me and hits me and cheats on me, and my best friends are all liars and cheaters and cheats on their wives and stuff, and I sit here and try to tell you that I really value honesty, respect, and loyalty a lot. You'll just be like, well, why does nobody else does in your life? It doesn't make sense. I have to compromise for each of those people. Okay? So we lose a sense of who we are. And then we become codependent, we become dependent. You guys like to use trauma bonds. So as there's trauma in a relationship, and we don't understand it, we're not healed from it, our brain needs to make sense of it, and will continue to try to make sense of it so it knows how to protect you in the future. Okay, this really hurt us. Why? What can we do? That's what your brain trying to do it on its own when we need to be doing this. We need to take over, take control of our life and start protecting ourselves so that this doesn't do it, because this doesn't care how you feel. And when you let your brain take over, it gets ugly, doesn't it? All right. Losing ourselves, needing to get ourselves back, traumatized experience doesn't know what happened. We need to heal from it, and we were enmeshed. It feel like we lost a part of ourself instead of just a failed relationship. Okay, as we become more emotionally intelligent, as our IQ raises from these experiences, hopefully from healing and learning, these things won't. Well, first, loss won't be so bad to us, but we won't get enmeshed and dependent on another person as we learn more self-reliance. Okay? Hope I answered that for you. Thank you, Paula. Don't give up on yourself. There's help for you available. You can contact me, and there's plenty of other people to contact on YouTube that help with this. Lots of other coaches and therapists. And I promise you, there's a therapist in your area that can help you with this. Okay? I understand, though, how difficult it can be to find one. Try doing this. Gosh, the first time, 1995 is when I began looking for help. Yeah. We've come a long way. It was a lot worse back then. No YouTube, no nothing. Therapists had no idea what I was talking about. Okay? And Victoria from the Bay Area again. Hi. My ex-narcissist really didn't do a good job raising his son. My question, am I crazy to think that the military can sense some of what his narcissistic dad put in his head? Is the damage already done? This was a hard question. I don't know if I want to know the answer. It's okay, Victoria. We're all capable of change a little bit, changing things in our life, and we're all capable of healing. If this is stuff that your son needs to heal from, he can. With proper help. Not just time. A little bit of help. Military really changes people because they enter so young. I don't know how old your son is. If he's in his early 20s, his brain hasn't even stopped growing yet. It will continue to grow probably till he's 26. We just start forming our personality as we become adults. Okay? Brain's still a little malleable. Definitely can change. Definitely. But the military tends to bring out the best in most of us. Really teaches us responsibility, accountability, mindfulness, things like this. Respect and integrity. Might be really good for him. I'm sure. Unless he gets kicked out. Try not to worry, Victoria. You don't have control over this. Okay? Cindy C. Thank you. Have a wonderful week. Thank you, Cindy C. You have a beautiful week. I hope you had a beautiful week last week. Have a beautiful week this week. Sally from Canada. Hi, Sally. Can you explain what it means when it's said a narcissist steals their victim's identity? What happens to the victim? Does the narc and victim spouse become enmeshed? How does the narc do this? Well, remember I just went over how we lose ourselves, what we emotionally need, what we want, what we feel, our values and our belief systems, stuff like this. Okay? Someone can shut this down, can't they? Especially a narcissistic person, especially somebody who doesn't care about who you are or doesn't value your values and stuff like this. Okay? A narcissist doesn't steal your identity. First, they may begin mirroring, and they'll start copying you, stuff like this. But what they're going to do eventually is they're going to change who you are. They're going to start trying to form a new identity for you. They'll try to have you lose your identity, but it's really about the new one that they project into your life. You did this, you did that. No, you're not. Yes, you are. You're this, you're that. All that stuff. And then you lose yourself, and then you start believing what they're telling you. We have so much self-doubt. We're like, God, is it me? Are they right? Maybe I could have done better. What, right? Okay? So they don't steal your identity. They're just full of crap, right? And they fake and posture their identity, their own. It's their ego. And it's not very stable, right? And then they will try to impose a new identity onto the victim. Make sense? I hope it does. Let me know what you guys think. Keep asking questions. And Jewel, let us know where your locations are, please, guys. Locations, locations, locations. If you watch these videos, you have to hear me say that. How to handle a sibling who quite possibly is all the above you are discussing. Won't get any help. It won't get any help whatsoever. He needs me, and now it's my responsibility to care. Enabling. Yes, I know. For him. He is impossible at times, and yet my heart feels for him. Definitely a dilemma. What should I do? He always belittles me until he needs money. I always give in. He has no one but me and doesn't work. He tells me I should work more. It's crazy. I know. Okay, Jewel. Look, I'm not going to hold your hand while you get abused. Come on, Jewel. Let's do it like this. Let's try it like this. Let's try it like this. Get out of there. Okay? You can't change him, and he's not going to change on his own. All right? I don't know why you believe it's your responsibility, except you're accepting that responsibility. This is your choice, Jewel. We have choices, always. You have other choices you can make besides this one. Always. Always. We don't really have to do much in our lives. Really. You don't have to pay your bills. We don't have to have electricity. Do you want it? Right. Do you want to do this? Then why are we doing this? Please let me know. Please. Please let me know why you feel like you have to, because I know you don't have to. And in your question, how to handle a sibling who quite possibly is abusing the hell out of you and killing you. Get away from them. That's it. There is no other solution. You have to get away from them. We aren't going to be some strong person that can just take abuse all day. That's not the point of being strong. The point of being strong and being mindful and aware and learning how to avoid people like that, the stressful situations. Not just keep it in our life and manage it really well. No, part of management is getting rid of it. Okay? I am terribly sorry that you feel this way, and I'm terribly sorry you're being abused so badly, but there is no other solution but get away from him. You are not responsible for him. You may have been for so long you feel like it, but you're not. This is your choice, and you may not feel like it's been your choice. You may feel like you're powerless. Get help. That's the only thing I can tell you, is get help. That's what it's for. There are people out there that can easily help you. Help you get away from this slowly, a little bit at a time. At least talk to someone. At least try one hour with someone. Write everything. We can't ignore this. And that's how we get here, is we ignore and ignore and ignore and ignore. We know there's a problem and we try to ignore it, and then we see another problem, we try to ignore that, and we try to ignore all the problems and never fix them until it gets like this. And we can't ignore it anymore then. And what I mean ignore is ignore ourselves. We can't ignore how it feels. We can't ignore that we're not getting what we need. We can't ignore our values. We can't ignore us. Talk to somebody. Reach out for help. Start writing, though. Start writing. Okay? Might help you see it better. Might help you vent. So sad. The sad part is just that you feel like you have to. And I'm challenging you. No, you don't. Nobody else will. Too bad. He doesn't have the money. Too bad. This is his life, not yours. He's just a brother. You didn't even have him. He's an adult. There's nothing you can do. Anything you can do, somebody else can do. I doubt you're so amazing at it that you're the only person on the planet that knows how to take care of him. And even if you are, too bad. Stop. I'm not saying it's easy. You do have choices. You may not be aware of them. So find help so that you are aware of these choices, so you know what you can do, you know how you can do it, and you have support doing it. I think you need to be held accountable. You tell somebody what you want, and then you start seeing what you're doing, and it goes against everything you want, and they say, hey, Jewel, remember you said you want this, but you're doing this, and you're going that way. I thought this is what you want. Let's go this way, huh? That's accountability. Okay? And I think that would help you immensely. I'm really sorry. I wish I could help you more. I can, if you want to hire me. But there's nothing else I can tell you except you need to get away from that person, and you need help doing it. Like we all need help, okay? Keep asking me questions. Let me know why you feel like you have to. I'm interested. I'd love to hear. I challenge people on this a lot. I've never heard a good reason why I have to take care of my mom or my grandma or my brother or my friends or my boss. No, we don't. We have to take care of ourselves. He just doesn't know how to do it, and you'd be surprised how well he will be at it when you stop. Okay? That's all the questions, guys. Let me know what you think of my answers, and keep asking questions. And I really, really love your guys' personal experiences if you feel like sharing them. Comfortable doing that. Again, like the video, share, subscribe. Always ask questions, and let me know what you think of my answers, okay? And always love yourself first. Have a beautiful week. Bye-bye.